Hey guys, welcome back. It is a Monday evening around 9:30 p.m. in Chorrillos. Welcome to Chorrillos. I can't even pronounce the word. Anyway, here we are. We're just leaving this area of the city. This is something that not a lot of tourists see. It's not a super touristy place. There are some touristic locations over here, but not many. This road can be an absolute nightmare to drive on during the day, especially around rush hour, and when there's school. Classes, it can be an absolute disaster in the morning. I drove a truck for a very long time and I'm very comfortable around it, but these trucks over here, they make me a little bit nervous to be around. Safety's not a top priority here, so kind of makes me nervous when they get around me, which is something I'm not used to feeling. I'm used to being very, very comfortable next to them. Well, here, guys, all that black in front of us, guys, all that black out front is the South Pacific Ocean. That's where we're at. And all of that right there in the distance is Miraflores de Callao. And that's where we're headed. We're headed down to that road to Costa Verde. And we're going to run along that for a few minutes and get ourselves into the Callao area. We're on our way to the airport. See how this truck's got no mud flaps on the back? I know, no big deal. Hits a rock though, throws it up, smashes your windshield. Wasn't my fault, and that's what they'll say. And of course, it's not really their fault directly, but the fact that they didn't have a mud flap, it's their fault. And you can see that he's, almost at half. I mean, I want to say half. He's got a full tire from his truck in my lane. Finally pulled over to his lane. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to go by him because he's just, it's just it doesn't make me comfortable right now. If I get on this flat stretch in front of us, I might go by him, but yeah, there we go. It's been super, super foggy here the last couple of days. Seems like some kind of a marine front coming in. We're not super foggy this evening, but this whole week we had a lot of really strange days, a lot of really strange weather patterns going on. A lot of really strange things with weather in the last couple of months. We had 13 or 15 foot waves up in the north a few weeks back. About a week ago we had, maybe 2 weeks ago, we had really, really high waves and tides down here in Lima. And the last couple of days or so, we've had some really, really insanely foggy days. The whole weather system has been quite odd for the last month and a half or so. We even got rain a couple of days ago, like 2 or 3 days ago. Wasn't a lot, but we got some. So basically, we're leaving Chorrillos, and we are, Jeez, oh crow. We're actually probably in Barranco, which is like the next little district up, or I guess you might understand it more in terms of like a little town or something, even though it is part of the main city of Lima. So this would be the border of Barranco and Miraflores, actually. So like that exit ramp there will split and divide the two districts. Everybody's in a rush. As a professional driver, I look at it like you probably should have left, an extra 10 minutes early or something, rather than drive like an absolute idiot and put everybody else at risk, right? But who am I? I don't know. I'm just a driver. Officially, we're in Miraflores. The glare that you're seeing doesn't really do justice over here for how it really is. It's you're seeing a little bit of it, but it's really bad on the high level when you're actually physically looking at it. Somehow the cameras reduce the glare, but it's a lot more of it, especially making it hard to see versus what you're seeing on a video. This is the new exit ramp they just built, or working on. This is the Malta coming out of Miraflores, so they just redid all of that ramp right there, and there's still some work to go, but it's basically done. I'm kind of like your virtual tour guide here, right? I'd like to make a video of the new route, but they're to go to the airport. But to be honest with you, that route's kind of unsafe, and having my cell phone out to make a video over there, I'm not sure I want to do that. I did it on Fawcett, which was unsafe, but they're sending us more in depth and more deeper into Callao and closer to areas that are well known for high crime zones, so I just really get nervous about that now. I mean, I buy a cheap cell phone over here just because of that, but still, even at $500 a pop, it's still, you lose one phone every 2 months, every 3 months, and can get quite expensive quite quickly. So, and the time to update all your apps and your emails, and geez, and crow, it's just so much. Well, we're approaching San Isidro right now. This hill, as we climb the hill, as we peak the hill, we'll be on the border of Miraflores and San Isidro. Yeah, here in the hill in front of us, you can see the cars up there. Yeah, just as we peak that hill, we'll be on the border of it. slowdown is because a lot of the taxis use natural gas, and people think that you don't lose power, but that hill says a different story. With natural gas, you lose about 30% of your power, and by the time you top the hill, yeah, you've better downshifted a couple of gears. And I say downshifted because 90% of the vehicles here are still manual transmissions. So. Guys, you got to check out our new shop page. We're just getting some services on there. Haven't really refined them all yet, but we got a few on there. We're going to change the name. There's a bunch of things we're going to do, but kind of give me some traction out there. Get on it, look around. If you wouldn't mind, take a few minutes. I don't necessarily think that anybody's going to want the services immediately. May not be something you're even interested in, but if you could get on there, open up the page, take a look around, spend a few minutes on it, you'd be giving me a little help with Google and the algorithms. You know, somebody was on the page, they're looking around, and it'll start to gain a little traction out there for me. It's all brand new. It's all something we're going to try and experiment with to meet the customer needs out here. I'm going to probably try to do SIM cards. We're going to try to get a way to get you guys some SIM cards that are activated. So all you need to do is just literally put it in your phone, and boom, you're good to go. We're going to try to make sure that you get real money instead of fake money over here, counterfeit money. So we're going to try to do a little bit of an exchange type service. Of course, it is a service, so it will be different than the airport. It'll be a better rate than the airport, but probably not as good as you could get in the center of the city. I'm not going to lie, it's a service, so we've got to make something on it, but at least you'll know that you're getting legitimate money, not counterfeit, and the money comes right from the banks and the ATMs that they have, versus some guy in a booth somewhere. So we got all kinds of ideas. We just got to start getting them on the page. If you got some ideas, guys, on something you might want to see, feel free to comment on the post or on the video down below, and I can look at how I might be able to implement it in my business model, my services. Sorry, I didn't really go into detail of where we're at. We're in San Miguel now. We passed through Magdalena and things of that nature. So I did stay up to date with keeping you informed of where we're at. But so the actual airport, you can see how foggy it looks over here now. Look at the sky over there. That looks like it's just starting too. It looks like it's probably going to get pretty heavy this evening. But anyway, the airport trip that they have on the map nowadays has you going straight down. We're going to get off here at this exit, which is our regular route. The new airport route has been straight down for a little while now. And honestly, it's not a terribly slow road. It's actually can be faster than the route that we're going to go now. Unfortunately, the condition of the road is over there just are not tourist level roads, and the neighborhoods are not safe either. Yeah, you see the clouds are rolling in, that's for sure, guys. Like that motorcycle that just went by us with no headlights on. You gotta see him at this time of night driving down the road, you know. Good thing we're in a well-lit district, well-lit area. This area right here where we're parked at actually makes me really nervous and hyper alert right now for somebody trying to run up and smash my window. This area often has people standing around and trying to get money out of people, begging for money and stuff like that. So it makes me a little hyper alert right here. You'll notice there's no like official, I guess they do have one now. I was gonna say they have no official green light, but they do now. That green light is brand new to us, I guess in the last maybe 6 months. For a long time we never really had a light there. We used to have to just base it off of the pedestrian crossing sign. Actually, not too bad, guys. I turned this on to make this video about, well, it looks like 18 and a half minutes ago. And we made it from Chorrillos to San Miguel in 18 minutes. That's a pretty good time. Of course, it is 9:30, now it's 9:45 at night, but yeah, it's not bad time at all. The actual map, when I punched up the information, because I always check traffic before I leave, but said it was an hour to the airport, and we're 18 minutes in. So if it still takes us another 20 minutes to get there, it's still only 40 minutes, not an hour. So if you do decide to drive over here, guys, I personally recommend Google, even though a lot of people will tell you to use Waze. I'm not a big fan of Waze over here. I used it, and it will bring you into a lot of closed off urbanizations, and it doesn't know how to get you back out of there once you're in. So you literally could drive around in circles in there for hours trying to find your way out. Google's a little different. I don't know how they managed to at least remember the route to get out, right? Like how they got in is how they get out, and that's the only way in and out of these places. So this one traffic light is fast. The one behind us was also, or a couple behind us were also very quick. But the one that we're coming up to is real slow 3-minute long traffic light or something like that. It's just insane how they. I think we're gonna get like 4 cars through that intersection right there before it changes. Yeah, but this one that we're coming up to can be like a 3-minute long, 2.5-minute long traffic light. So the lights are so long sometimes that people will sit and read the newspaper. This is what you got to pay attention to as well. See that motorcycle on the wrong side of the road, splitting traffic, and it happens all the time. I'd really like just to put together like a whole video on the stupid stuff that people do in traffic here, because I think that it would be amazing to watch the level of stupidity when they drive here. It does happen all day long. The thing is, you would see one video or one thing and you wouldn't think it happens all day, but you go, oh look, it's so he made a left from the wrong lane, or he made a right from the wrong lane, or he drove on the wrong side of the road, and things like that. And you'd see it and you wouldn't really equate it to the fact that it literally happens all day long. It's not a one-off thing, right? Where you go, all right, he made a mistake, all right, get over it. No. That is what they do all day long, every day, and at every opportunity that they can get. And yeah, it can be quite disturbing. I'm not sure if they changed the timing on this light. Doesn't look like it's been quite as long as it usually is. Maybe they're getting a little better here. Yeah, it's a lot quicker than I anticipated. I guess maybe only a minute or so. I'm literally used to seeing 119 minutes or 119 seconds on the clock, and then it resets and goes for another 30 or 45 seconds or something like that. I forget. But yeah, today was quick. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they got it set up to be different times at different times of day or something. This here is La Marina in San Miguel. And we're going to hook a right on Fawcett. And that's the road that, if you look up on YouTube, a lot of the assaults happen for cars and taxis. That's the road it happens on. And you can occasionally see still somebody whose windshield, or not windshield, but window has been broken and laying in the street. The glass is all over the street. Either the whole window's laying in the street, or the glass remnants are there from the window being broke. I truly hope it doesn't happen to me. It hasn't so far on this road, so that's at 9 years, it's a pretty good track record. It's not happened to any of my drivers in the route. That's a good track record. I think that, and I can't prove any of this is all speculation, but everything here runs very mafia style, like extortion and whatnot. So I'm wondering if some of the assaults that happen on cars over here are a result of that, versus a typical tourist just being robbed somewhere. I'm wondering if it's a company who's refusing to pay their extortion fees, or something along those lines, and their vehicles have been identified and they just pick them out as they go down the road. guy works for this company, and so now his plate number and this or that. I'm just curious. I'm just throwing ideas around. I'm trying to make sense of living here in every aspect, not just my day-to-day lives, but like my entire concept of living here, not just the day-to-day. You can't really tell, guys. That's hood on the bottom that you can see on the bottom of the screen. That's my hood, and it looks like I'm right on top of people. I'm really not. It's just that I got the camera pointed up in the air a little bit so you're not seeing the entire hood of the car. So we're going to try to run it up towards the airport, I think, all the way up today. We're going to give it a shot. Stay hyper alert, and this will give you the entire ride up that direction. So you can see that sign in the back of this guy's car, Yango Pro, drive and earn up to 1,850 soles every week. That's what they're offering these guys, to make 1,850 soles a week, which is about $700 or 700 soles more than a minimum wage for an entire month. So they're offering a lot of money to the drivers to work for them, but the expense that comes with driving for them, it just doesn't add up. The fuel cost and the unlike in the U.S., these drivers don't get to write off their mileage, and they don't get to write off their food and things of that nature, maintenance and repairs on their taxes, right? So it's a whole different world. On the left-hand side, right here, watch this. See that? Motorcycle. You know where he is? Pedestrian crossing. He's literally in the pedestrian crossing. So when you think that they don't actually do it, they do. You just saw it firsthand. All right, so we got yellow lights. It's kind of odd. We got yellow flashing lights and nobody's going. That was kind of an odd situation. Here we are. Welcome to Callao. That's that big blue sign overhead. So we just entered Callao. If you drive in Callao, you really got to slow down. You really got to stick to the speed limits. Come hell or high water over here. 2 kilometers an hour over the speed limit, basically 1 mile an hour over the speed limit, you're going to get a ticket. And if you've rented a car, you're going to get the ticket, and the ticket is not cheap. The ticket is starts at 766 soles, so around $200 US for a ticket for speeding here. And if you get it on, you won't know about it within the time frame that you're allowed to get a discount over here, which is 5 days. You won't even know you have it, so you'll end up paying the full amount. Peru offers discounts for paying. Actually, you know what? It's a speeding ticket. I just realized that speeding is, there's no discount anyway. So yeah, so you're going to pay around $200 US if you get caught speeding here, and they'll throw it right onto you on your charges, right? Highways, you know, if you go 20 kilometers an hour over the speed limit, I think it is, you're going to get a ticket for over 1,100 soles. It sounds like a lot of high speed, but the fact is that the speeds here are so slow that when you actually do drive, you start feeling like the speed is not right, because you're so used to driving at higher speeds in your home country. Takes a little getting used to, so you really got to focus when you're driving here on how fast you're going. And on the highways, you got to worry too. Sometimes the law actually allows them to back up on the highway a reasonable distance. Is actually how it's worded. So they often will drive by an exit ramp and back up a half a mile just to get back off the ramp. So starting where we're at right now is where it starts to get high crime. There's been some crime down before this, but this is an area from here up is where the high crime area really starts. It's still not bad timing from Chorrillos to here, 31 minutes in. Would have been at this point about 35 minutes from my house, but I turned on the camera after I stopped and got fuel. I didn't want to waste your time getting fuel. So you see the Mr. Police car there making a left-hand turn. It says right there's a sign that says no left-hand turns, but there he is, Mr. Police Officer, because he's special. So if you're driving in this area and you're on the other side of the road, where that police vehicle or whatever, I guess it's not even police, the one with the flashing lights on a motorcycle, when you're on that side of the road, you want to be as close to this side as you can. You want to avoid the right-hand lanes, because the police at night will stop people randomly over there and try to get them to give them bribe money. And if you don't know the area and you're in that far right-hand lane, you're going to be subject to getting stopped for no reason and them trying to bribe you or get you to bribe them. So you want to stay in the left lanes coming through this area. May move a little slower like we're doing right now, but it's twofold. In the left lane, you don't have to worry about people trying to smash into you from your left side, and you don't have to worry so much about the police that are stopping people in the right lanes just randomly. These are little insider tricks when you're going to drive, or if you're going to drive here. But I call them hacks. I call tricks hacks. I don't even know. I'm so old now, I don't even know if it's a trick or a hack. I'm old enough to remember that when the word hack was somebody that couldn't do the job right, didn't understand the job, but pretended that he knew what the job was, that kind of a thing. Or like a replacement driver for union drivers, things of that nature, you know. But now a hack is a trick. Interesting how words change over years. You also notice the train sign here on the left. There's no anything to stop you from being caught on the railroad tracks when the train's coming. So you've got to be alert to it and aware of the situation whenever you're driving here. They don't have those types of safety features in place, so you got to be well alert to it so you're not trapped in that situation. We don't have a lot of trains, but we do have a few train crossings that you got to deal with here. This is an area that you'll sometimes find a lot of broken windows on the ground. I think the traffic is going to improve a little bit here on this road, largely because they're building, or they're still, I don't know, about 90% done with the bridge, but it's still about 10% short, I guess, on this pedestrian bridge just up here. I think it's going to have some pretty significant impact, or at least I hope it is. Pedestrians can't easily cross the street here because of the volume of traffic, and the police will oftentimes just waive traffic and just ignore the pedestrians for sometimes 10 or 20 minutes. And you start wondering why the La Hora Peruana is a big deal. It's because they really get to a point of I can't do anything about it. If I left on time to get there, it's still going to be late because the way the roads are designed and structured, right? So this bridge right here in front of us, that's the brand new pedestrian bridge that they built. And I can see it on the left over there. You can't see it, I guess, but there's some construction barriers up still. So I don't really know what's going on. There's some on the right here as well. I don't know if they're saving it for the inauguration of the new airport or what they're planning on doing. We're literally less than 10 minutes from the airport if this traffic moves. This traffic light is Morales Duras, and this is the intersection that we're going to have to figure out for the new airport entrance. On the left end of this road, if we make a left at this light, is where the new entrance will be. Currently, we're not allowed to make left-hand turns off of this road, so they're going to put a traffic circle in, a roundabout or a rotary. I don't know which word you use in your country. Over here, they generally use ovalo. But yeah, if we made a left-hand turn here, that would bring us down to where the new entrance is at, but we can't do that. currently from traffic from this direction would have to go up here and get off the first exit, make a U-turn on a side street, and then get over there where that, you can't see the truck. There's a truck way over in the left-hand corner there. You can't see him. He's way over there where that car is on the other side of him. See the cars on the other side of the wall? And that's where you'd have to get to in order to get on that street. It just makes things a little bit more complicated than need be. So, and this here, check this out. You got to know the road because they tore it up really bad right there. So you got to try to avoid the big hole in the road. Crossing a bridge, and just recently we had a bridge fall down due to poor maintenance, and the new temporary bridge that they have that is designed for quick response in natural disasters is one of the bridges they're having us trying to use for the opening and the inauguration of the new airport, and that's already been reported this last week that it's being undermined by the river. And I'm thinking to myself, the river can still rise. I've personally seen the river 10 feet or 3 meters above where it is now. So I'm like, if it's already bad, what's going to happen when it gets really bad? All right, well, this is the last final stretch to the airport right here. I think I've bored you to death for the last 40 minutes or so. This is all the construction right here that we're doing is for the new metro that you hear I'm talking about. The thing is, when you say metro over here, they think supermarket. They don't think subway system or underground transit, because metro is actually a supermarket chain over here. So you have to be a little more specific when you talk to them, so that they're having something like that, because they're going to really understand what you're looking for if you're talking about a metro. We're going to make a right at this traffic circle here, and the airport is on our left. You can see over there on the left. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's the entrance to the airport to the left. And we're going to make a right because we are almost a full hour ahead of time before our client's plane arrives. And then 45 minutes after that, we have to make sure that we're already inside, because they generally clear customs and immigration somewhere between 45 and 60 minutes. So we're going to go over here and find a spot to park. This is what I do every day, guys. So you could literally find me, like if you're an expat and you're driving here, or if you're just somebody that's wanting to drive in Peru, you could literally follow me on my video and find me, because I literally park where I show you where we're stopping at. I do want to do all these things. It's kind of a disturbing situation when they do these intersections. There's no lights they could have made the left, and they sit at it and sit at it and sit at it and sit at it for no apparent reason. They don't know they can turn. They just wait for it. No complaints, just oddities, guys. Just things that are a little different, that's all. Here's another one of those different things. Here's how you make a left. You see all that room over there? Back home, you would drive over there and take that side of the road because that's what makes sense. Over here, it's just a completely different way of doing things. So you got to make those adjustments, guys. Well, we're going to park right down here where this guy is. Looks like he's pulling up to close to my spot. Here's my spot. Literally, I don't know if I get into it. See those poles right there? The idea is to get your driver's side door blocked so nobody can get into it while you're sitting here. You're in a dangerous area. You want to keep the passenger side door blocked so nobody can get in. And I usually use both of those poles, one to block the driver's side door and one to block the rear side door. So it helps to control access. But anyway, that's it, guys. We're in Callao. We're waiting literally 30 seconds, a minute outside of the airport. And we'll see you when you get here, man. Take care. Bye.